Welcome back to another flight simulator series. This one is actually going to be kind of interesting. As you can see, I've got a new camera set up. You can't even see my face. You can see my controls, which are free and clear. And then my throttle quadrants right here. And I do have the foot pedals attached down here. So we're going to be using all of them today. But this is going to be a new series. I really want to look at the camera. The camera's over here on the right, but I wanted the controls to be more in focus. So you're just not going to be able to see my face today. This is going to be a new series. Let me know in the comments if you like the setup where you can see my controls, or would you rather see my face and kind of... Let's see, go back to clearance. Request takeoff clearance. I have not flown the Diamond in a really long time, so this is gonna be a little bit fun. But yeah, so what this series is gonna be? It's gonna be the canyon series. My main focus is I'm gonna find beautiful canyons throughout the world that I can go and fly through. So the first one that we're doing, the first one. Let's get this going over here. The first one that we're going to be doing is in Portland, Oregon. We're taking out of Troutdale. We are going the wrong way. That is fine. Just get up and turn around. So yeah, let's go ahead and stop here for a second. So the first one we're going to be doing is in Portland. Actually, let's go ahead and take off. Flight power, good. Get those rudders in. Oh, struggling down the runway here. Let's go ahead and pull that plane up. Put the landing gear away. And bring those flaps up. Acknowledge. So, yeah, basically, I'm going to turn this down in my ears. Basically, the series is going to be, I'm going to go and fly different canyons here. As we start to make our turn here. Oh, don't want to stall. I don't even know what that means. But the first one we're going to be covering is the Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River goes through the Cascades, and as it makes its way to the ocean, I have flown this, or I have not flown this, I have driven this gorge and come right through on this highway right here several times in my life. I live in Utah, and my brother used to live in Portland, and so we'd always go used to see them. Yeah, so I love the Columbia River Gorge. It's a beautiful part of the world. Highly recommended if you're even close to it. Let's keep our power alive here. And we're gonna... So let's jump into the cabin here while we're... So I am gonna turn... Oh geez, I forgot how to fly this plane. Well, I'm not even gonna worry about it then. But yeah, it just goes. It cuts through the Cascades, and it's a beautiful gorge. It's where the Oregon Trail went through, and it's got a couple dams. So what I might do in the future, as I kind of get more accustomed to this and kind of this setup, is I might go like research some interesting facts about the place, interesting points of interest, as we do it. And I don't know, so right now our current path is to go all the way to the Dalles, and to see the Bonneville Dam and the Dalles Dam. Don't know if that's where we'll go, if that's how we'll do it, but just, yeah, exploring some interesting points of view along here. Acknowledge frequency change.
Portland approach at 0727J905 is type Diamond DA62 2 miles west of Whiskey Alpha 6 tree 1,200 feet. Request flight following. And 0727J905 Portland approach.
Acknowledge that squawk code. I want to acknowledge this.
Squawk 0015 and 0727J905.
And put you away. Okay, altimeter is the same. So before this goes, this is Mount Hood, the kind of the famous mountain in Oregon. You can't see St. Helens or anything. Okay, but yeah, Mount Hood is, I believe, the tallest mountain in Oregon. Oh my heck! Shut up. Okay, acknowledge radar contact.
Roger, and 0727J905.
Yeah, it's just very beautiful. One of the things, I don't know exactly where it breaks off here, and we're going to be able to, let's maybe dip towards the Oregon. So on my left is Washington, and on my right is Oregon. On the Oregon side is where Interstate 84 is. You can kind of see it right here. But then there is a highway, I believe it's Highway 30, Historic Highway 30. This might actually be its breakoff right here. And then it just follows really closely. It's the old highway. It follows really closely to the cliffs because all of the water, there's a ton of waterfalls. And so we're going to see, I don't know if they're modeled into the game or not, but we are definitely going to see if we can see any. So, one of the most famous one is Mammoth Falls, I believe is what it is. And I'm pretty sure we should be able to see that one. And I'll just have to keep an eye out for it. I kind of have an idea of where it's at. Let's go ahead and pull. It's actually just, nope, not that high. We were at 5. Let's go 6. I believe it should be right here because this is like the parking lot for the freeway. So it should be, yeah, right there. You can kind of see it back in that little canyon. But it does not look like it is modeled into the game, which is fine. I have no complaints about that. So, funny story though. So I've told you that I drove to Portland all the time, took Highway 84. The first time I remember going was around the 4th of July. I don't remember exactly what date it was, but it was around the 4th of July. So we were driving along. It was really late. We usually leave Utah at like 5 or 6 o'clock at night and drive through the night, so that way when we get there, we're getting there in the morning and we have that whole day to do whatever we want. So we're driving along this highway, and I don't know if you saw, but the road, like the highway kind of went out and around the parking lot, and we're going, I think it was like at the speed limit's 65, so maybe 70, 75, and very rare for an exit to take off on the left. So we were kind of in the left, and we just started following the left. And the next thing we knew, we were going 70 through this parking lot at Mammoth Falls, and it was pretty crazy. So it definitely woke us all, because I was with my mom and my brother and me, and it woke all three of us up. I mean, obviously my brother, I think it was my brother who was driving, and it really woke him up. I mean, he was awake, don't worry. But it really woke him up and kind of made him, whoa, kind of take a step back and kind of reevaluate. And we saw it at 4 a.m. in Mammoth Falls. Beautiful place. You know what? One thing I'm noticing, I have OBS on my left monitor. I'm just noticing that my my camera is covering like my airspeed and stuff like that. So I will put that probably kind of over just right by my flap settings. But yeah, so this is these three little islands. This is Bonneville Dam. A lot of from what I understand, the purpose of the dams is to create hydroelectricity, but also to prevent like flood control and stuff like that. And so Bonneville Dam is your last dam before the ocean. And then over here is the lock systems to get barges up and down the river. And then you have, this is your these two are your hydroelectrical dams, and you can go out here as a person, like as a civilian, and watch this one. I've done that before. And then they have all of these fish ladders that you can kind of see right here that aren't really modeled. But yeah, so that is Bonneville Dam. It's pretty impressive. Coming from Utah, like we have dams, like I've seen the Glen Canyon and the Hoover. The Hoover is is probably the most impressive dam I've seen, but Bonneville is pretty impressive as well. So, and then this bridge right here, this is called the Bridge of the Gods. This is in Cascade Locks. Beautiful. So my brother, he took us down the Washington side, and then we crossed over here at this bridge. This is a toll bridge, and it's not a beautiful bridge at all on the game, but in real life it is. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try to figure out how to add pictures into the video, so that way you can see the actual thing that we're looking at here instead of me just pointing it out on a video game. So I'll figure out if I can do that. Nice little airport right there. But we are not landing there. We're going all the way to the Dalles. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of lift here. So, yeah, one of the things that inspired me to do this series was I follow somebody called T. Martin. If you haven't heard of him, highly recommend him. He plays a variety of games, but he just got Microsoft Flight Simulator for the Xbox, and he is traveling the world exploring different things. And he did the Grand Canyon, and I was like, huh, that looks like a ton of fun to fly through. So I want to fly through it, and so that's where, I want to start doing canyon series, because I love canyon flying. I think canyon flying, it's a lot more interesting to me than just flying straight. So that's kind of where the idea came from, is this idea of canyon flights. He did it on an X-Cub or something like that. I wanted a little bit faster of an airplane. I mean, I might change it up as we go through some of the more technical canyons. But yeah, so that's kind of what inspired this. The reason I chose the Columbia River Gorge is just because it is something special to me, and I just haven't seen a whole lot of videos out there covering the Columbia River Gorge. And I mean, yeah, there's you can kind of see some of the maybe faults in the game of not perfect, but it's totally fine. I don't fault them. They're just using Bing Maps, and so I don't fault them at all. Yeah, I love this game. I love the scenery of it, and I think they did a really amazing job. So yeah, I'm super happy with this.
Seattle Center N0727J905, 1,500 feet.
So, if I remember right, that plane's got to be way up in the air. If I remember right, the Dalles is kind of right around the river bend here. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I'll have to figure out how to put those pictures on, and include those pictures. That Highway 30, one time like kind of wraps up, and when I was moving, I actually moved to Astoria, Oregon, and one of the times, or during that trip, I wanted to take it a little slower and enjoy the scenery, and so I climbed. Good day.
Going to 119.65 N0727J905. Seattle approach N0727J905, 1,400 feet. N0727J905, Seattle approach altimeter 30.07, continue as planned.
Kind of bring us down here a little bit. But yeah, I actually climbed up and I took this really cool picture. If I can figure it out, I'll put on some of these pictures on the video here today. But a beautiful picture of the Columbia River Gorge, and I believe that was back behind us. Let's get us out of that yellow. I'm good going fast, but I don't need to go so fast. I'm going to blow up here. But yeah, just a gorgeous picture. So if I can put that up, I'll put that up. If not, I will post it on my Twitter, which the link is down in the bio for my Twitter. I'll post pictures with a link of this video and all of the pictures from this thing. These pictures I'm mentioning: Mammoth Falls, Bonneville Dam, the Columbia River Gorge picture, and then the Dalles Dam as well, since we'll be going to the Dalles today. This could be Hood River right here. This is probably Hood River, which there's Mount Hood back over there. So we'll kind of do a low pass over Hood River. One of the interesting things, so you can kind of see right here, this is the train line, and you follow the train line basically the entire time that you're on, or that you're following, or like you're driving along here. And it's just kind of interesting, and like there's a bridge further down. I don't think we'll approach it today. But it's like this bridge to connect Oregon and Washington, and it's just a train bridge. So, and I know of that bridge also. The Hood River Bridge is not that. It's actually a pretty impressive bridge as well. Go ahead and pump it up to 7. So, as you notice, I can't kind of keep on going up and down in elevation. I'm just adjusting my trim to do that, instead of playing with my flight controls. Just letting trim, and trimmed it out. So this should be all fresh water right here because salt water can't go up from the Bonneville Dam. Um, there's a lot of marinas along here that I've seen a lot of boats get out on. Um, a lot of tugboats fly on this river, or not fly, go on this river, and so you, when you're driving, you actually see the navigation that for the barges to figure out where the main channel is, which I think is really cool to see those. They're kind of up on these hills that you'll see. They're like red and black, big signs. Maybe I'll put a picture of those if I can find them, because those are pretty cool as well. See, this town, I do not know what this town is. Moisier, I think is how you say it. So we're just kind of low flying over the Columbia here as we work our way towards the Dalles. Anyway, yeah, I definitely would love your feedback on this. I'm excited to get back into flight sim and kind of do something that's maybe a little bit more interesting than rather just flying from point A to point B, doing something where we're actually exploring the world and kind of getting to travel a little bit. I kind of looked at some different places I would like to go and doing canyon runs, so you guys can get excited about it. I'm doing Zion's National Park, so my plan is to start, because there's like at the very kind of north end of Zion's is a hike called the Narrows, which you are hiking through the Virgin River. I don't know if I would be able to fly through that, but what I might do is set it up that I basically come and fly down in it and kind of go through Zion's and then work my way and fly in land into St. George. So I might do something. I'm gonna do that one. I was watching Jeff Faviano had a fly-in event out of LaSalle, which is down by Moab, Utah, and he was flying through Canyonlands. So I feel like Canyonlands is something I will do, National Park. And then also I'm going to do Bryce Canyon National Park, also in Utah. And then what's some other ones that I'm going to do? I'm going to do Grand Canyon. I'm going to and Glen Canyon and Horseshoe Bend. So those will be two separate videos that I'm going to do. Yeah, just kind of some different interesting videos like that I plan on doing over the next couple of weeks that you'll be able to see. So it looks like this is the river bend for the Dalles, and my airport is just straight ahead. So what I'm going to do is, so the Dalles Dam is kind of like the river kind of does this motion, so you can kind of see how we're bending down, and then it does this motion, and the airport is kind of right in that the bottom dip of the bend. So we're gonna kind of go over the Dalles Dam and come back and land, and that will be it. We'll call it a day there. So we're getting close to being done as we approach the Dalles. We might do like the Snake River. The Snake River up by Jackson Hole. We're definitely going to be doing Monument Valley. Is one of my it's not really a canyon, but I think Monument Valley is something that is so beautiful, and obviously a point of interest, considering that it was the main thought for the picture of the update for USA, so I want to go check out that. Yeah, just kind of look at some different spots on within the game. So this is the Dalles, City of Dalles. You can see that marker. So we are not going to follow that. So I am not positive on the runway for landing because I'm going to be doing this runway. But I am not focused on what I'm doing. I need to be flying here to get you guys to see the Dalles Dam here. So let's level off. There's a runway right there. So I think that's the one. We're just going to be coming at it from the other side. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go up a little bit. And you can kind of see the terrible quality. Going to get ready for landing. And here's the Dalles Dam. I will put a picture of this one. So one of the things I always remember is, so like the main hydroelectricity plant is right here. And then over on this side is kind of where, I don't know what this building is, but you can kind of see this white water. That is pretty powerful. And every time we come through here, that is something that's always interests me. And there's a huge American flag on this building too. So, but yeah, that, and there's the fish ladder right there for the fishes. And let's try not to crash as we come in here for a landing. So let's go ahead and cut my speed. Select runway. I think we're doing 3-1. Oh man, I cannot see. My runway. Oh, that's the one I wanted. See my runway in sight. I hate landing. I hate landing. We are coming in so slow. Oh, gonna crash. Well, anyway, guys, that was not the reason for the video. I did collide. I will practice on my runways. I just got too slow and low. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Sorry for a terrible ending to a great video. But come back and join me. Next time we'll probably do the Zion's Canyon run, and then we'll go from there. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know what you think of this position over here, and maybe we'll change it up, because obviously I'm just kind of flying like this. So anyway, thank you guys, and see ya.